I'm very sorry, but for some reason my camera keeps going out of focus. It's having focusing problems. How is it going, YouTube? Today, kind of like things I face as a wheelchair person, things people say to me. You know, I'm gonna do a different video when I get a GoPro of, you know, day in the life of. So like, problems I may face, things I do differently. Just take my GoPro out with me, out and about. And, you know, you get to see what it's actually like. I struggle to explain myself sometimes, so if this is all coming off as really douchey, I do not mean it to be. Like, I'm just trying to explain, you know, things that get said to me as a wheelchair person, you know, my thoughts on them. That's literally it. My opinions, like somebody else's opinions on this, another wheelchair user's opinions on these things that I'm saying, may be completely different. This is just my opinions. First thing I always get is, so what happened to you? And it's like, so what happened to you is not the right way to word it at all. It's, you know, oh, what disability do you have? Or, you know, what made you end up in a wheelchair? Or were you born from it from birth? Curiosity is completely fine. Just be careful how you word it, because some people could, you know, take it really offensively. You know, like if they've been in an accident and like they've not been like it from birth and they're still getting over that accident, you know, so what happened to you could be quite harsh. And it's like, oh right, how come you're in a wheelchair? I don't know how to explain it properly, but like there's different wordings that could be less offensive, and like you'll still be able to get your curiosity across and get the answer you're looking for, but without sounding really, really rude. This next one is just plain, just don't ask it at all. Like, you wouldn't ask an able-bodied person it, so don't ask a disabled person it. Can you or how do you go to the toilet, go to sleep, or get dressed, or, you know, personal things? Like, you don't ask an able-bodied person it, so why would you ask a disabled person? Like, you just don't do that thing. I'm just gonna turn the light off because I look very whitewashed. Another thing, I know so-and-so who uses a wheelchair. You must also know them. Like, I don't know every single disabled person that lives in my area. Just because I don't know, you like a certain type of music. Oh, you must know so-and-so who also likes this type of music. Like, it doesn't happen. I don't just automatically know. Yeah, I might know. I don't know, Susie from down the street, for example, that's in a wheelchair. But I might not, but like, don't just assume that I do. The next one is kind of like, I get you're trying to be funny, but I hear it a lot and it gets kind of annoying. So like, by all means say it to me, but it does get a bit annoying and repetitive. You need some brakes / lights / mirrors or horns, you know, one of them things I'll have said to me, you know. Or you should get some reverse lights or mirrors or a horn on that thing. And it's like, you know, I joke about it all the time, but hearing it, it's like repetitive. It's like every single like, I don't mind it, but it's one of them things I just hear over and over and over again. Another one is, do you have a license? I hear that one, like, I can guarantee at least once a week I hear, do you have a license? Or I'm going to give you a speeding ticket, or something along them lines. And again, I'll laugh about it, but it's repetitive. I get people screaming Speedy Wheelz or Speedy Gonzalez at me every 2 seconds as well. Don't mind that at all, because obviously it's my YouTube name, Speedy Wheelz, but it's something I hear a lot. Like I said, this video is just, you know, things I've heard as a wheelchair user. Can I try using your wheelchair? That one really ticks me off, because it's like, where am I gonna sit? Like, if there's a seat around, fair enough. I'll probably get out my chair and let you have a go if you're my friend. But if you're a random stranger that approaches me in the street, and it has happened to me, and you say to me, can I have a go in your wheelchair? Oh, I'd love to have a go in your chair. I'm gonna hate your guts if you do that. Please do not ask unless you are a close friend of mine and there are seats nearby that you can visibly see that I can transfer into, whether you can have a go in my chair. This one, on this list I've got behind me, behind the camera even, I'd say this one ticks me off the most. People who come up behind me and start pushing my wheelchair, like if I'm going up a hill or something, yes, I'm struggling, but if people start going up behind me and pushing me without even asking, that's rude. And I can't stand it when people do that. Absolutely can't stand it. Like, if you see me struggling in the street, or, you know, you think I might need a little bit of help, ask. By all means, ask, and I will let you 9 times out of 10 help me. Because if you're asking, you're obviously seeing that I need help, and I probably do need help. So just ask me first before you grow up and grab my chair and start pushing me down the street or up the hill or whatever. It's rude if you don't ask. Another one is, I hear at least, like, if I'm out in town, I'll hear at least once somebody go beep beep or vroom or meow, you know, that kind of thing, like imitating a car. It's quite funny. It's quite, you know, I don't mind it if you want to do that in the street, you know. I'll happily, you know, laugh. I'll laugh. As long as you don't ask me to pull a wheelie, which is the next point on the list. Do not ask me to, you know, pop a wheelie or whatever in the street, because, like, I love pulling wheelies, but one, I don't like showing off in front of people that often. You know, if it's my close friends, yeah, I'll show off. But again, if you're a group of random people, or even just by yourself, I won't do it because I don't like showing off. I'm very shy in that sense. It takes a lot of energy to pull a wheelie. Sometimes I don't have that energy. I just might not want to do it. Also, there's a risk of me injuring myself, so like, I wouldn't want to take that risk. I'll do it if I want to, just don't pressure me to do it, because it's like, I have people who say, go on, pull a wheelie, and I'm like, nah, I'm right. Go on, you know, like, they'll pressure me, and I'm like, I don't want to. And it's like, just don't do it. My camera, what are you doing? Not all my friends are in wheelchairs. I do have a lot of able-bodied friends. I'd say like maybe not even 5% of my friends are in wheelchairs. Like, I don't just, it's the same with relationships. I don't have just friends in wheelchairs or just relationships with people in wheelchairs. I do have able-bodied ones. This one is, do you play wheelchair sports? You must have good upper body strength. Like, yeah, sure, I used to play wheelchair sports. Yeah, I used to. But not everybody in a wheelchair does. That's an assumption that loads of people make about people in wheelchairs, is that, oh, they must play wheelchair sports and they must have amazing upper body strength. Like I said, I do. I personally like to think that I have good upper body strength. I used to play wheelchair sports, but not every single wheelchair user does. Not every single wheelchair user has the strength to. Not every single wheelchair user enjoys playing wheelchair sports. So, like, don't just make that assumption about somebody, because it might not strictly be true. Also, don't assume that we know every single disability in the book, because we don't. We're not some sort of disability wizard person saying, oh, my, I don't know, cousin or my brother or my sister or, you know, my friend has this disability and this disability. Do you know what that disability is? Like, we don't automatically know what it is. Okay, I legit cannot film a video with it being like this. You know what, fuck it. We're just gonna have an out of focus camera for the rest of the video. Yeah, if I stay there, it might actually stay in focus. The next one is people saying, oh, you poor thing, bless you, oh, I'll pray for you, like religious things, that annoys me a little bit. Like, I get you're trying to be nice, sure, I appreciate that a lot, like I appreciate it so much that you're trying to be nice, but I don't need people's sympathy. I was born in a wheelchair, that's the way it'll be forever. No amount of praying will change anything. No amount of bless yous will change anything or make me feel any better. I know some people it might. For me personally, bless yous doesn't do anything for me. Oh, you poor thing. No, I'm not a poor thing. I can go out and do quite a lot. Although sometimes I do get discouraged, but when I'm in a good mind frame, I can go out and do a lot more than I realise. I can go out shopping, I can go out on the bus, I can get taxis, I can go out. I can lead a fairly normal life. Like, I might not be able to do it the same way as everybody else. I kinda can. Sure, there's some things like, like I live in a small place near Leeds. You might know that, I might have mentioned it in a previous video, but I'm not mentioning it in this video. I can get into my local town, but I can't get into Leeds because it's like this. it's like this on a hill. So that kind of annoys me. I have to drag a friend everywhere. It's not I have to drag a friend, it's that I have to take a friend everywhere. And it'd be nice just to go out by myself into Leeds like I do my local place, local town. So that kind of annoys me a little bit, but I still don't need your sympathy for it. Like, it bothers me, but there's a thing called online shopping for a reason. You know, that kind of thing. I was in a wheelchair once when I broke my leg. I get how hard it is for you. No, you don't. No, you really do freaking not get how hard it is. People who break their leg end up in wheelchairs for like 6 weeks, something like that. Couple of months. They do not get, and they can still get up and walk on crutches and stuff. Some wheelchair people can. Some wheelchair people can get up on crutches and walk. But for me personally, like, you do not understand how hard it is mentally and physically to be in a wheelchair just because you've been in a wheelchair through a broken leg. It's not hashtag relatable or anything like that. Like, it's don't say that just because you've broken your leg. Unless you've lived in a wheelchair for a considerable amount of time, I don't think anybody truly understands how hard it is. Like, I've been in a wheelchair since birth. I don't think anybody truly understands how hard it is unless you've been in a wheelchair for quite some time. Not just after you broke your leg, you know? You're such an inspiration. This one annoys me. Not because people are saying that I'm an inspiration. It's the reason why people are saying that I'm an inspiration. If people are saying I'm an inspiration because of a particular thing that I did, like I achieved something really big that's like a goal I wanted to reach, then yeah, by all means. But saying I'm an inspiration because I'm a wheelchair user that goes out, or I'm a wheelchair user that does my own shopping, I'm a wheelchair user that buys my own stuff, that goes to college, that's not why I'm an inspiration. And don't say that's why I'm an inspiration, because that makes me feel like I'm pathetic. Just for doing everyday stuff, I am not an inspiration. I'm just trying to get about my life like everybody else. Not an inspiration. And that completes all that I have on my list. If I could think of any more, I will add them in the comments of the description. If you guys who are in a wheelchair, or you know, have either lived in a wheelchair for all your life, or you know, part of your life, or you live in your chair for more than a broken leg, then comment down below, you know, things you've heard as a wheelchair user, as a regular wheelchair user. I'd love to hear other people's opinions and facts, and you know, how you react to them and your thoughts on things that people say. So guys, please give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, subscribe down below, become a lollipop today. We'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.